Agriculture. My name is Marian Munyaunganga, and today we are continuing with this interesting conversation about hatchery, about egg incubation here in Kitengela, together with Mkulima Calvin Round, who, by the way, has studied architecture but amejipata kwa hii space ya agri-technology. Before the break, he has mentioned why you need to separate generations when it comes to egg selection. And right now he will be telling us how these machines work and what to look for as you egg select. Calvin Round, welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much.
We are very much happy to have you again. So you mentioned something about egg selection, looking for cracks. Is there a special way you do it? Because I've seen most of the farmers, they use a torch. They put an egg maybe on top of a torch and then they light the torch and see if there are any cracks to it. How do you go about it?
Okay, so we also have our formula, how we select the eggs.
Yeah.
But usually the torch are used for knowing if the eggs is fertilized. Actually, when you have already put them in the machine, after 10 days, you use the eggs to see if really the eggs were fertilized and if the chicks are forming. Yes, but basically how we select our eggs, we just do it manually. We are able to detect the eggs which are not in good shape, the smaller one, the bigger one, and also those ones which are not in good shape.
And my cameraman has mentioned something, Stanley Michi, he has mentioned something about placing of eggs on the tray. What position should you place them?
Now, as you put, the best position is that the long or the tip.
Yeah.
The egg is somehow oval, but now the sharp pointed is where you put facing down.
Why?
Because you see the embryo is on the other part and the fertilized egg is alive. So we have porous areas where the fertilized eggs do breathe. So if you put it opposite direction, then it will suffocate and that egg eventually will die. The embryo will die. So it's very important you put it facing the sharp end facing down.
Sharp end facing down.
Yes.
Is there any other consideration that a farmer should have?
Actually, that is the main factor.
Yeah.
Apart from that, I don't think there's any. Yes.
Let's move to the next step. Now we have our selected eggs in check. Now what is next?
Yeah. So after that, before you transfer them to the incubator, you must ascertain that the incubator has been running for at least 10 hours. It should be warmed, yeah. And also, you put the right setting. After that, after you have put them into the incubator, make sure you have a standby generator because it should be consistent. It should not lack power until the end of 18 days when you'll be transferring to the hatcher. Nevertheless, the first 3 days are very critical. Other days, probably you can have power failure. Even they can go up to 4 hours without power. But the first 3 days are very critical. You should have power continuously. And also the last 3 days when they are in hatcher are very critical. You must have power continuously. Yes.
Kulima, you will tell us why in a bit, but first you mentioned something of importance, the settings. How should they look like?
Now, we have in incubator and also hatcher, we have temperature and humidity. Now, in incubator, the setting of temperature should be 37.8. Okay, it depends also with the other machine, but normally it is 37.8. Then humidity should be 58 to 63. That is for incubation. Now, after 18 days, when you are transferring them to the hatcher, now you increase the humidity. Humidity should be 70 to 75. Then temperature you reduce should be 36.8 or 36.9.
Why are we reducing the temperature at this stage?
Now, during hatchery, and actually the main reason why you should increase the humidity and lower the temperature is that during hatchery, you see now they are peeping, and humidity help the shell to be softer. So when they are peeping, it is easy for them to come out. But you see, if the temperature is high, somehow will damage or will kill the chicks. Yes, that's why we lower down the temperature and increase the humidity.
I'm impressed of how the temperature inside the incubator is slightly higher than the one of the room temperature,
yes,
or even the body temperature, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so when I talk about tanning, the tanning process, how does it take place and what does it mean?
Oh, yes. So, naturally, even if you compare the hen, actually, the making of incubator was derived from the hen, because hen do turn the eggs frequently, and also the machine has been made that way, such that after a period of time, like in our case, after every 1 hour, it turns. That is incubator, but hatcher doesn't turn. It should just be left that way. So the main reason of turning of the eggs is not to allow the embryo to stick on the shell. So that's the main reason. So when it turns, it's not sticking.
No, it's like some sort of vibration
Exactly.
that detaches the embryo.
Yes,
from
yes,
the egg
exactly.
ball.
Yes, yes, yes.
Wow. Is it automatic or do you do it manually?
It is automatic. These machines are automatic. After every 1 hour, you see them turning by themselves.
So now, 3 days to the taking them from the incubation to the hatchery, you have to increase the humidity and lower the temperature.
Exactly.
What happens to the hatchery, in the hatchery?
So when you bring them to the hatcher, here we don't need turning because now the chicks are due to hatch. So you just put them there. The increase of humidity, as I've said, will soften the shell of the egg, and that one will allow them to come out very, very smoothly.
What are the settings in the hatcher?
Humidity is 70 to 75. Temperature, you reduce it to 36.8 or 36.9. Yes.
Okay, so this helps them to come out nicely.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So failure to do that, you'll realize that you have mortality, high mortality in hatcher, because they are trying to come out, but they are stuck. So you'll realize that most of them are dying when they are stuck, because humidity is low. Yes.
Wow. And
but again, you really need to do service to your machines, because sometimes you might set the machine at the correct temperature and humidity, but you realize that the internal humidity is less as per what is set there. Yes, so you also need to evaluate. You must have that thermometer, this gadgets to also measure the internal humidity and temperature.
In the incubation, they stay there for 18 days?
18 days.
How about the hatcher?
3 days.
Only 3 days?
Only 3 days.
The chicks are out there?
Yeah, from 19th, they start coming out from 19th, 18th day. On the 21st day, they are done.
Do they wait for each other? Okay. Anyway, when the chicks have come out, do they cry? Okay, I'm assuming because a baby cries.
Yes.
Does this apply to the chicks as well?
Yeah, in fact, they even do cry when they are still inside the egg. You'll hear, even before they hatch, you can still hear them crying. And after, of course, I think it's just natural to any kind of living thing.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm assuming not all shells will fall from them. How do you handle them next?
Some shell will tend to live, but only some few. You help them, you remove the shell, you help them by removing the shell from them.
Oh, do you wear some sort of...
Yeah, you must have protection, you must have gloves, and also you disinfect Yes.
Wow, that has been an amazing conversation. Thank you so
Yes.
much for giving us all these tips on how to get incubation, how to get hatchery correct. There you have it. I hope you have learned as much as I have. We have been talking about incubation, about hatchery, in order to attain the right hatchery rate, which is around 90%. And this is way better than having your hen sit on those eggs, because you know your hen can feel hungry and leave the eggs there. They get cold, they don't get the warmth that is really needed in hatchery. And one thing that Calvin Brown, who is the farmer of today's episode, has mentioned is that you need to keep checking your machine. First of all, 3 days after you've put them in the incubation, make sure your generator power is on, because it can come through when there is a blackout. And also 3 days to taking them into the hatchery, because this is a very critical stage. They only stay in the hatchery for 3 days, and where they are there, you get to hear them cry like a beautiful bouncing baby. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to be part of this conversation, look at the contacts on the screen, look at our social media handles on the screen, and please feel free to DM us, and we'll be there at your farm. Same place, same time, in your farm. See you next time. My name is Marian.